It's still the 12 reports now. Reactions have continued to trail the shutdown of Badeggi Radio 90.1 FM in Minna, Niger State, following the directive by Governor Mohamed Bago, who accused the station of inciting violence and revoked its license. Now, Amnesty International, journalists, and the Social Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, have all condemned the governor's action as a blatant abuse of power and a dangerous attack on press freedom. Amnesty International described the closure as unjustifiable and urged the governor to withdraw the order immediately, noting that under Nigerian law, only the National Broadcasting Commission has the authority to revoke broadcast licenses. Now, critics argue, though, that the shutdown is a misguided attempt to silence critical voices and worsening insecurity in the state, highlighting a worrying pattern of media repression under Governor Bago's administration. Well, it's not about to be a monologue, so joining us to discuss more on this is a journalist and media career development specialist, Lekan Otufodunrin. He is the Executive Director, Media Career Development Network. Thank you so much, Mr. Otufodunrin.
It's my pleasure to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you join us. Now, we're still talking press freedom and democracy in 2025. This is a topic that we're hoping would have been, settled already. The media, of course, we know is a conduit between the government and the people, and so they have every right to show the people what's happening in the country and in governance. So with the directive by the governor, would you say that this is an attempt to challenge the principles of media freedom and, of course, in general, democracy in Nigeria?
Well, I think the press organizations that have responded couldn't have put it better when they say it's an abuse of power. Under democracy, there is separation of powers. So there's executive, there's legislature, and everything. So the media, like we say, is the fourth estate of the realm. And we have our role cut out for us in the Constitution to hold government accountable and every other authority. So you can't revoke a license you didn't issue. So there's no way the governor can revoke that license. As I was coming this morning, I got across to some journalists right there in Minna, and they confirmed that the station is broadcasting as we speak. Apparently, based on all this, but although the state government, the executive council is meeting, and they're likely to make whatever pronouncements, there is a demolition order supposedly hanging on the station by the development authority, where it could seem as if it has no connection, because where they have the right to do, but coming at almost the same time, there's reason to suspect that this is an abuse of power, this is an attempt to muzzle voices of dissent and allow people to share their opinion about what the government is doing.
So, as you said, you cannot revoke a license that you didn't issue.
Yes.
As a broadcast journalist, I know that the NBC is the only body that can revoke a license, and that depends heavily on, the offense that has been committed. So, what are the legal limits of a state governor's authority? Because this looks a lot like an attempt at micromanagement. If I mean, for lack of better words, there's a worse word to use, So what are the legal limits over media organizations? And how would we say that this directive violates, once again, Nigerian media laws?
Well, the Minister of Information has come out to say that the governor does not have the power to revoke the license. He had said that. He's been quoted to have said that, and that is the right position. Because, like I said, every other station that is operating anywhere in the country, the NBC issued that license, they can revoke it, they can suspend them, they can fine them. So the law is very, very clear. Like you mentioned in your analysis, the governor seems to have a track record of not being comfortable with people, and to think that there are issues in the state. So you have banditry, you have all kinds of things that are troubling. Ordinarily, what you expect is that if he feels bad about what they are doing, he should report them to the appropriate authority. And even if he's not okay with that, he can actually sue them. So what we are saying that in a democratic administration, we need to follow the rule of law. And it's bad that the governor is showing bad example. Because, now he has announced the revocation, but he has been overruled. I don't think that is good for his own image. I don't think he should do that.
But do you say that this is a strategic move? Because, even a layman will know that his allegations and his actions do not necessarily hold water. So Can we say that this is an attempt at stifling the press once again?
Well, generally, there is a shrinking civic space for the media and civil society. This is one of the manifestations of those shrinking spaces, where we are under a democracy and we are not enjoying those kind of a thing. The last time I heard what he said was under the military regime. I happen to have worked in the Punch newspaper. At a point in time, Punch, Guardian, Concord were shut for almost a year. But we were, quote unquote, we knew we were dealing with a military government. Even that, it was challenged. So I don't see how he can get away with this. It's clearly an attempt by him to stifle those kind of voices that he's not comfortable with. And like we have said, there are channels for redressing whatever you are not comfortable with.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Lekan Otufodunri, for brilliantly discussing this topic. And we're hoping that this is not going to be a continued conversation as to how the media is being stifled, because the media is, like you said, the fourth estate of the realm. Yes. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
An absolute pleasure.